Welcome back to Desk Fitness for Computer Artists, where I'll guide all my fellow seated nerds through a series of desk fitness activities that stand to benefit you and your well-being. You know, for sacrificing your butts by sitting in a studio all day. Now, if you have not gotten yourself set up with proper ergonomic fundamentals, be sure to check out our very first video before proceeding to actual actionable workouts. If not, let's get started with 3 bodyweight exercises that you could do at your office desk. Firstly, let's clear the air about bodyweight exercises and their effectiveness as workouts. Whilst training with dumbbells, barbells, and machines have always been touted as the proper way to gym, yes, bodyweight exercises can and are effective as workouts. So don't be deceived by the fact that you are not holding, pushing, or pulling anything, that such exercises are useless. In fact, bodyweight exercises are usually great for those with joint issues, especially considering if you will be sedentary for most of the day, as well as allow for a more natural range of motion in general. And yes, bodyweight exercises are also considered as strength training. In fact, all of us actually have built-in weights coming from our bodies themselves, hence body weight, LOL, that create that resistance against gravity. Yes, you are working out with your body and gravity, totally free at no extra cost. Again, this functions similarly as you holding a dumbbell or anything in general against gravity. In fact, people who are completely new to fitness usually start off with bodyweight exercises and resistance bands before proceeding to heavier weighted items outside of one's own body weight. And FYI, if you like a few researched recommendations on cheap resistance band sets that costs only about $10 US or so, feel free to check out the links in the description. I have 2 options for you guys to pick from. Alright, so now that we've aired that out, let's start with our number 1 workout for the day. The thing that everyone knows, push-ups. But in the case of an office environment, standing push-ups. Just because it's universal and so are walls. They are universal too. So very quickly, here's how you could utilize your office wall to do a standing push-up. Firstly, just wanted to clarify that there are a variety of push-ups, and the one we will be focusing on today is the wide hand or wide grip push-up. So let's begin. First, find a wall. And if you work in an office environment or a studio, this shouldn't be too hard. Just make sure that there are no objects, plants, or random stuff in the way of your wall. Face the wall, reach both arms out and place them with palms on the wall, slightly wider than your shoulder width, but not too wide though, only slightly. Take 1 step back with both feet such that you are slightly angled against the wall, whilst ensuring that your neck, back, and legs still form a straight line diagonally. And whenever you are ready for the plunge, simply bend your elbows only to lower yourself towards the wall, stopping once your elbows reach a 90-degree angle or when your head touches the wall, whichever comes first. Make sure that your feet remain flat on the ground throughout the entire movement. Then complete the push-up by simply pushing against the wall, only with your elbows back to your starting position, ensuring that you don't lock your elbow joints when you make your return trip. Then simply repeat it again for another repetition, and so on. Now, if you're curious which muscles are involved in this exercise, according to my research, the wide grip wall push-ups essentially predominantly work your chest, then your shoulders and arms, most notably the triceps. Okay, so with push-ups aside, let's move on to those sedentary legs that you won't be using when you're sitting. So, you know in those movies where the boss in a suit or some arrogant douche puts their legs up on the desk while smoking a cigar? Well, guess what? They are actually secretly exercising their legs. That's right. They are working out their hamstrings without even knowing. Funny. Now, unless you have enough space on your desk where you can put those legs up without any HR repercussions, I would suggest the following alternative to working out those legs. Alternating forward lunges. Again, you don't need much other than some space in front of you, at minimum arm's length worth of space around you. So let's get on it then. First, as mentioned, find some empty space around you, about arm's length on all sides just in case. Stand with your feet hip width apart. Keep your back straight, shoulders back, as in tucked in backwards slightly. Take a large step forward, and to gauge how large that step should be, estimate about from where your arm's length was at. Whilst you take that step, slowly bend both the front and back knees until both legs form a nice 90-degree angle at the bends. Again, it doesn't have to be a perfect 90-degree, so long as your rear knee doesn't touch the ground and your front knee doesn't go past your toes. Once you have that down, reverse that action by pushing yourself back up with the heel of your front foot, bringing both legs back to your original standing position whilst keeping the weight or pressure in that heel of your front foot. And then of course, repeat that with the other leg. Now, this is a great exercise for the lower body, but it might be tricky if you have knee issues. So another variation is simply to perform the alternating reverse lunges instead, or slow down the pacing of your forward lunges. Now, if you're curious which muscles are involved in this exercise, according to my research, the alternating forward lunges essentially predominantly work your quads, then your hamstrings and glutes, and to a lesser extent, your calves, and then core for stability and balance. Now, if you'd like a bit of a challenge to this workout, try speeding up your lunges quicker to get a better oomph to your workout, whilst also increasing your heart rate to a moderate intensity. This is also known as the jump lunge. Basically, instead of starting in a straight standing position, your start position begins with a split stance with one leg forward and the other back, after which get down to your default forward lunge position and then jump explosively, alternating and switching your legs mid-air, moving your arms similarly as well as if you are running. And once you land, launch straight into the next jump and the next jump, and so on. Again, you can increase the intensity and get a really good workout if you love the challenge. So one of the ways to know that your workout is effective again is to gauge how elevated your heart rate is. So if you haven't gotten one yet, I recommend getting a tracking device like a wearable heart rate monitor, step tracker, among other things. In fact, I went ahead and did the digging for you guys for those who want a few good options of such wearable devices. If you like one that lasts longer but is a little pricier, I recommend Amazon's Garmin watch, or any Garmin, Polar or Fitbit brand actually. This one in particular has a reasonable price tag under $100 while still having that social proof in its reviews. Link in the description. On the other hand, if you want something that looks similar to mine, which is considered the cheapos version, I also have one here on Amazon after much intense searching. And again, not really a notable brand, but if you're solely after the lowest possible price point, as you can see, we have this one that looks pretty similar to mine actually, that I would consider quite cheap and still gets the job done. Again, for the cheapo option or the Mr. and Miss Frugality option, link in the description. So, here's a recap. Standing push-ups works your chest, shoulders and arms. Basically, you're strengthening up that stiff upper body of yours that you rarely use when sitting behind a computer screen. I recommend about 5 sets of 8 repetitions, meaning a total of 40 push-ups with an interval break of about 30 seconds after every 8 push-ups. Next, the legs up on your desk like a boss. Works your legs, aka hamstrings, or the back of your upper thighs. Again, if you can do this, then I guess just leave your legs on your desk like a boss then. And lastly, we have the alternating leg lunges. Whether you prefer it forward, reverse or jump splits, these lunges work your legs, glutes aka butt, and to a lesser extent your core. I recommend about 3 sets of 8 repetitions, meaning a total of 24 alternating lunges with an interval break of about 30 seconds after every 8 lunges. And to clarify, you need to do both legs per round to officially count as 1 repetition. For this workout, feel free to increase the speed for a more challenging and higher intensity of exercises. Ultimately, whether you choose to work your chest or your legs, it is all about moving about and getting up and off your seat. So regardless of whether you have weights or decide to eventually get a resistance band, just get off the seat and start using your own body and your office or studio environment. After all, they're free and you're getting paid to work there. Anyway, if you get bored doing just those few exercises, there will be more workouts coming for you guys when we're back in the next video. Alright, so that pretty much concludes our session for today. If you enjoyed such content or learned something new from us today, please go ahead and like the video by poking the like button or post a shout out in the comments. And if you like a lot of my videos, then subscribe to the channel to make life a little easier for yourself. Now then, this is Vicki Lau, signing off.